Hello friends, welcome back. Let's listen the story Frogs That Rode a Snake. It was told by Sthir Jeevi to Meghavarna and other crows. A black snake named Mandavishya lived in a forest on the Varun hills. He was becoming old and worried that he would not be able to snare frogs anymore, and that would make him weak and bring his end closer. With a plan in his head, he went to a lake and resting on its edge, pretended that he had lost all interest in worldly matters. A frog in the lake came out and asked him, "Uncle, why are you not praying for food as you used to do in the past?" The snake said, "Listen, my son, I am very unfortunate. How can I have my fervor for food? Last night, when I was on my rounds looking for food, I sighted a frog. When I tried to get at him, he jumped into the middle of a group of Brahmins reciting the Vedas. I could not track him, but soon I saw something like a frog near the Brahmins and at once jumped at him and bit him. It turned out to be the thumb of a Brahmin boy. The boy died immediately. When his father found that I had killed his son, he cursed me. 'You wicked snake, you have killed my innocent son. From now onwards, you will serve as a vehicle for all frogs. Your life will be at their mercy.' I have now decided to serve my sentence. That is why I am here," said the snake. The frog ran into the lake and told everyone about the snake and his offer to serve as a vehicle. Happy at the prospect, all the frogs went and met their king Jalpad and told him about the snake. "What a wonderful news!" thought the king, and trooped out of the lake with his ministers and subjects. The king was the first to get onto the hood of the snake, followed by his ministers. In the order of seniority and prominence, the king's subject also climbed the back of the snake. Those unfortunate frogs that could not find space on the vehicle followed the snake in a procession. To entertain them, Mandavishya showed several feats he could do. Thrilled by the experience of riding a deadly snake, Jalpad, the king of the frogs, thought that the ride had no parallel. No ride, whether on an elephant or a horse or a chariot or a palanquin, can match this experience, he thought. On the second day, Mandavishya slowed down the pace of his haul. Noticing the change of pace, Jalpad asked the snake why he was not moving as briskly as he used to. The snake told the king of frogs that he had no food that day, and being weak he was not able to carry so much load. Jalpad, taking pity on the snake, said, "You can have the younger frogs for your food." Thrilled at this offer, the snake said, "Oh, king of frogs, my plight is due to the curse the Brahmin gave me. Your magnanimous concession has released me today from the curse. I am so happy." The snake thus began eating a few frogs every day and soon became strong and healthy. He was also worried that if he began eating the frogs at this rate, there would not be any frog left for him in the future. Meanwhile, a big cobra chanced to come that way and seeing the snake carrying the frogs and struck by wonder, asked the snake, "This is very unique though unnatural. How is it you have become vehicle for frogs, which are our natural food?" Mandavishya told the cobra, "I am pretending to be friendly with the frogs." Jalpad, the king of frogs, overheard this conversation and asked Mandavishya if what he had heard was true. The snake at once realized his mistake and told the king of frogs that it was all fun. The king of frogs foolishly believed the words of the snake, and snake slowly swallowed all the frogs. So friends, the moral of the story is Never ever believe your enemies, no matter how much they promise you the gains. After telling the story, Sthirjivi told Meghavarna that he followed the tactics of Mandavishya in leading his enemies. Pleased, the king of crows said, "What you have said is correct. Great men do not give up when they have begun, even in the face of obstacles. Cowards, afraid of failure, do not venture at all. There are some that begin a task and give it up when there is a problem. But courageous people do not give up, whatever dangers they face. You have crushed the enemies and brought security to my kingdom. The learned have said, it is dangerous to leave a fire unextinguished, a debt unredeemed, an enemy uncrushed, and a disease untreated." Sthirjivi said, "My lord, virtue belongs to him who is charitable, learned, courageous, and friendly. Virtue brings wealth. Wealth brings power. It is a king with these qualities who can rule and expand his kingdom. I have done my duty. I need rest, but I humbly seek to offer one word of advice. All this power should not go to your head. Follow the path of duty and rule your subjects for 100 years. May God bless you." So, friends, this is the end of the third strategy, which is based on the stories of crows and owls. We will bring the stories of fourth strategy, which is based on the loss of gains, after a break of a few days. Write your views about the story The Frog That Rode Snakeback in the comment section. If you like this podcast, then click the like button and also share it. See you soon in the next story. Stay tuned with this series for listening to more Panchatantra stories. Take care. Bye.